Welcome to the Sportz Phenz Show. The show where, just like you, we can't get enough sports.
The 47-year wait is over! And the Nuggets win it! Wilson throwing, it's up for grabs, and he's caught for the touchdown!
And the Denver Broncos have taken Super Bowl 50.
To the Avalanche are 2022 Stanley Cup champions! And a shot into the back of the net for Diego Rubio!
Now here's your hosts, Arthur Knight and Larry Perkins.
Yo, 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 what's good in the hood? This is the Sportz Phenz Show. Welcome in. I am Arthur Knight, and with me as always is Mr. Larry Perkins.
Hello, hello.
How is everybody doing today? We got a lot to get into. We are coming to you live from 4300 West Alameda here in Denver, Colorado, at the So-Hi Cafe. Sorry, I had a brain fart there. Words are hard, people. So-Hi Cafe. Come on by. Get you some Viper Pit barbecue. Tell Vinny the Sportz Phenz sent you. Get you a 10% discount. And don't forget that we are brought to you by... oh my goodness, I'm like I envy. Thank you, sir. Yeah. We're gonna get dropped. I envy Vision
okay.
At 700 Alameda.
Yep, on the corner of Buckley and Alameda.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Or actually, no, excuse me, it's 700 Buckley. Man, I'm really today. Anyway, 700 Buckley, South Buckley. Go on by Unit K. Tell them the Sportz Phenz sent you. That's IMV Vision. They do comprehensive exams. They take all insurances. I got these glasses from there. IMV Vision. We see you. Okay, so we got a lot to get into, man. That's why I think my brain is just rushing because we have so much to get to. There's so much that happened.
I can tell.
I'm excited that my team is still in the playoffs and your team sucks. I mean, that brings me so much joy.
It don't suck.
That both LA teams are on the beach right now and are shipping their cars overseas so that they can, get their vacation going. That brings my heart so much joy that both teams from LA are not in the tournament anymore. I can't even begin to tell you how happy I am that your team is falling apart.
As a gracious loser, I will tip my hat.
Was that a shot? You calling me a poor winner? Is that what you're saying?
Hey, however you want to take it, bro.
I'll be that. I mean, I just
long as you win.
The Lakers, like the Lakers have been the thorn in the Denver Nuggets side for decades.
Oh, I was there. I the thing is,
That's why I feel no empathy, no sympathy.
You shouldn't.
No,
you know what I'm saying.
Y'all about to be doomed for a long time.
Not really a long time, but
Luka gonna have back problems for a long time. I don't wish that upon that man. I like Luka. I'm sorry. I'll take that back, Luka. My bad. Let me bring that back from the universe. If I can, universe, let me bring that back.
I'm like, what the heck?
But hey, man, a lot of good games past few days. First and foremost, like we said, Minnesota beats the Lakers. Down goes Frazier.
Right.
We've talked about this before, and I want to talk about this first, but I do have a couple questions for you. But first, we have talked about this on this show, that your team, the Lakers, do not have a center. And I honestly, even though Minnesota did mollywop us, the Denver Nuggets last year, I get it. We do have a center, right?
We don't.
But you don't have a center.
Before Anthony Davis got traded, what was the thing he said before he got traded? We need another big.
We need a center.
And once we traded him, we lost. Now we. And
what did everybody say? They were like, I even said he just doesn't want to have to play center. He wants to play the four, his natural, because that's where he gets to float around.
But you have to
and block shots.
You have to understand it don't work work like that anymore.
Right.
Two centers is not the ideal style for this.
That's the way y'all won in 2020, though.
But the thing
Because
is,
you had two centers. You had JaVale McGee, right? And you had football shoulder pads.
Dwight.
Dwight Howard. That man looks like he's got like football shoulder pads under his
that
skin.
was 2020. Right now in 2025, the thing is
That is 5 years removed. You're right.
The thing is, it's going to be a big impediment to ours because everybody else is just they playing 6'10" centers. It's a little smaller, not that small.
I mean, you're right though. Like even Sacramento, like Sabonis is not really a center; he's a 4.
So the thing is, it would be very bad for us to have two bigs.
Why is the league going towards this small ball thing?
Your boy Steph.
I mean, I guess, yeah, I think it is. And I think they've gone a little bit too far with it.
But the thing is, we needed two bigs after the Luka Doncic trade, and I stood on that with the Mark Williams trade.
That's still stuck in your craw, huh?
What?
That trade that was denied by the league.
No, it wasn't denied.
Oh, okay.
The Lakers got out of that. He fell physical.
Okay.
And
because they were trying to trade your rookie, right?
Dalton.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to trade him and in a number 1. I think it was a 2031 pick in it was like, I think in hindsight, looking back, it was probably best not to. We still kept our assets, but he had something wrong with his physical. So, but we needed a center then. I mean, we tried to get a center in the buyout market. Only thing we got was Alex Lynn. I'm sorry. We got Alex Lynn.
Why you laugh behind that, man? That was very disrespectful. How you gonna say that man's name and giggle?
I'm sorry.
What is that? What is that? Okay. All right.
Yeah, but to make a long story short, it was just making me mad looking at ESPN talking about Lakers can win a championship. Like, how? How? How can they go?
What did Shannon Sharp say? He said Lakers in 5.
I was like, how?
But he didn't. Well, the funny thing is when he kept saying Lakers in 5, he didn't like state unequivocally whether they were going to win or lose in 5. I mean, he kind of implied that they would win, but they did lose in 5.
Yeah, he missed.
So I mean, he called it.
He misspoke. Well, I can speak for a lot of Laker fans. This was a great season. Even though we got put out in the first round, that trade that's going to be.
You're still high on that.
Man, I still like that.
Well, good, because I was going to ask you, how are you feeling about the loss to Minnesota? Like that was going to be my first question to you.
It's bad, but the thing is, you have to. But hear me out though. It's bad in that aspect, but you have to understand, being a Laker fan, every year is a championship or bust. I don't care who you trot out there in the purple and gold. It's either a championship or bust.
Okay.
If you feel honestly that your team cannot go to the finals and have a chance of winning, what's the use?
So you don't think that the team, like the Pacer fans or because they made it. I'm not talking about this year, but like the Pacer fans of old.
With the Reggie Miller?
Yeah, like the Reggie Miller.
Finals?
Yeah, when they were like trying to beat Michael Jordan, and they were good every year. That team was great, man. I don't care what nobody says. That team could probably win 40 plus games in this league right now with the amount of shooters they had. Jalen Rose, like, are you serious? Like, how good would that team be right now? They'd probably win right now, to be honest with you. As good as that team was back in the day,
their best chance that they could win a championship was in 2005.
But I'm just saying, to your point, because they never won a championship,
right?
Like, they're a bust team. Like, they're not. No. They're still not great.
No, the thing is, when I
or you're just speaking for the Lakers.
I'm talking about the Lakers. Okay. No.
You're not talking in general.
No, I'm just.
You're talking about if the Lakers suck, the Lakers suck if they're second place. You have like that Ricky Bobby mentality. Second place is first loser.
Yes, sir.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
okay.
Sir. No,
okay.
Because the thing is, we're used to winning championships. It's a lot. It's about a good maybe 15 to 16 teams in this league that has not tasted that. The Nuggets have tasted that. You know what I'm saying?
I wish we had a good Ricky Bobby drop. Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
Ricky Bobby. But no.
But no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, but I had no expectations of us to win a championship. So enhance.
Hey, man, getting Luka took you guys out of the play-in.
Oh, no. The thing is, it took us, just him coming took us out the play.
Yeah.
And it also helps our future because you got to understand, I've been sad for years because I didn't know who was going to take over this team. No, for real. We was waiting for, AD. I mean, always disabled. I mean, I'm sorry. But
don't do that. That's messed up.
But we was waiting for somebody to take over the reins of the franchise, and now we have somebody that we can now really, truly look at as a,
That's what's up. I shouldn't talk. I be calling him China Doll.
You
him
do a
and
lot.
Porzingis. They're China dolls. I'm sorry. Like, you can't breathe in their general direction.
I don't know if
Otherwise,
that-
they fracture something.
I don't know if that answered your question.
No, it
But
did.
No, I had no.
It did.
I had no expectations.
Okay. I mean, you kind of told me how you feel. You still feel good. You're still riding the Luka Doncic high.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he comes in next year in shape.
Hopefully, I mean, he's playing on the Slovenian national team, and he has his own. They said since I guess last year when they got bumped out by the Celtics in the finals, he hired his own like weight and stuff.
Okay.
So that was kind of like the nail on the straw for Nico Harris because the crew he hired for his health and conditioning, they was advising him like, no, I don't want to do this because they said. So he just got mad and just said, you know what, that's it. You know, he felt
He should go to whoever Jokic went to. That's all I need to say about that.
think
Because
that's-
Jokic had the same issue. Every year he was coming in out of shape, and then by the time he was in shape, they were not in a good position to, win games. And then he changed that around. But with that said, because you said you're still riding that Luka wave, and you said you were wondering who was going to take over, right?
right.
Do you think LBJ should retire? You think it's time for him to move on?
Yes, he should. But see, the thing is, the Lakers are in I don't want to say that word. That's too big of a word, and I think I'll mess it up. But Lakers are in a big pickle. I want to say that. Lakers are in a big pickle because even just say if he retired today, that money is still. They're not going to be able to, with that money, they're not going to be able to get a max player. They have to wait for another year. So it's not going to be beneficial cap-wise if he retires. Who are you going to get? Because we still owe a lot to Rui and Dory Finney-Smith. So just say if he retired, the only money we're going to see from his that's going to come off his deal, because I think he's getting paid like 50-something. 52.
Yeah, what we need to look into is next year, all the players, is that going to put the Lakers in the second apron? And what are they going to be able to do?
Right now, no.
Right.
Right now, no. If he retired today.
You're talking about LBJ. If he retires, they would not be in the second apron.
No, even if he comes back. They
Okay.
not.
Okay.
That's one thing about Rob Pelinka I like. He's a good capologist.
Okay.
Even the trade he made. But the thing is, we would have about 14 million if just say right now if LeBron James retired, like bam, next year with all the contracts we have with Rui and Austin and everybody with Vincent, we only gonna from that 50 something, we're only gonna have 14 million.
Okay.
We're not gonna be able to get somebody like LeBron James type for $14 million. So you
This
might
is
as well,
LeBron James type.
yeah, just somebody that's
I
gonna
thought
give
he
you
was
25.
I thought he was all by himself.
No, he's not. He's
okay.
averaging what 25 a game.
Well, he didn't average any points in the fourth quarter in the entire series, if I remember correctly. Like, he didn't score at all in the fourth quarter of any of those games.
You have to understand one thing: the LeBron James you see is not. He's not going to be your second best player on the championship team no more. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? He's not. He gas out, and this happened last couple of years against the Nuggets. I remember when we was talking, not last year, but the year before last, when we got swept by them.
Well, he used a lot of
you
his
see
fuel trying to chase records this year.
Well, the thing is, I
But it
remember
took him
that
7
game.
extra years to get.
4 games, not last year, but the year before last. 4 games, we was close. We could have won. And
Close
then,
only counts in hand grenades and horseshoes, homie.
what's up with all these violent analogies you're pulling. You know what I'm saying? Should I know something? You gonna do something after the
I'm
show?
just saying, dog. Just saying.
Should I leave early so I won't get caught in the crosshairs? I'm scared. I was like, but
If it's going down, it's going down right now.
I would say prior to this year, the Lakers. I would say the Lakers are going in a dark place after the trade.
Okay.
It's a little light in the tunnel, but LeBron, he kind of obscures that somewhat. But
I don't know what that means. How does he obscure that? He's either a part of the light or he's the darkness. There's no.
That's cool.
I'm just saying, man.
He said, what do that mean? I don't know, bro.
What is the light at the end of the tunnel? You have Luka?
Yes, that's the light.
Okay.
The white light.
But the book on Luka right now is that Luka is out of shape, and that seemed to be exactly what it looked like to hurt his back and have back spasms and stuff like.
He'll be all right.
When they needed him in the clutch, this is what happened in Dallas. I mean, it looks as though who's the GM down in Dallas? What's his name? Nico Harris. Looks like he was right. Like, because Luka went to the finals last year, right?
Right.
With Kyrie in Dallas.
Yeah, but you should have seen how Boston did that boy. You know what I'm saying? They hounded him. Their wings, he got no rest. And like
I don't care.
So you just blame it on the weight.
No, I'm just saying that the book was written that he's at the end of the year he's gonna fade on you. I mean, it's not like he didn't get 28 points. I mean, he did do everything he could.
No, I mean, the thing is,
but what are you gonna do to put around him with LBJ still there? What are you?
That's the obscurity I'm talking about. That's the problem.
I ask again, and yes or no, should LBJ retire?
No.
Okay.
Because I explained to you if he did, it would make no sense. We only would have $14 million in the cap. Any player we get.
So either way, you're in a lose-lose.
Right. Any player
I just wanted to hear you admit it, because I told you in the beginning of the show that your team is going to suck for a long time, and you keep talking about this light at the end of the tunnel.
If you're talking about in a year's time, yes. But other than that, no. I mean, you can't win a long time. Are we talking 5 years?
Are you waiting for Bronny James to come up from the G League? Is that what we're...
Oh, man, he's going to kill it, bro. He's going to kill it.
Okay.
He's going to take... I think... No, I'm just... Okay. I couldn't even say that.
Speaking of getting killed, the Denver Nuggets pretty much mopped the floor with the LA Clippers in the Game 7 last night.
I was happy as a choir girl.
What?
I'm just playing. No offense to choir girls.
Pause. Woo! Hey, I can't control what comes out of this man's mouth. Anyway,
Bro,
I'm just gonna gloss over that, Larry.
I'm a walking enigma.
Okay, if you say so. I can't with you, man. Anyway, you're making me lose focus with the craziness. So
no, but that was.
Oh my God!
It was. I expected like an epic, all-time great Game 7. I even tuned into it. I was like, "This is gonna come down."
It was an epic all-time.
It was a blowout, bro.
Yeah, that was epic and all-time.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, it was for me.
I know for you
because
I literally
nobody picked except for my homeboy Lucas, who won a killing yesterday. Shout out to Lucas. He put all his dough on the Nuggets winning Game 7.
Who would not think that the home team would win a Game 7?
The Denver Nuggets got beat by Minnesota last year after having a 20-point lead in the fourth quarter.
That was
at home
last year.
At home. No, you just said, though, it does happen.
It does happen, of course.
It doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen.
I'm talking about I've talked to a lot of Denver fans, and maybe they probably feel because last year what happened. That's why the uncertainty. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, you never be too uncertain about your team. If that happened, it's gonna have to happen. Keep consistently happening for me to say, you know what? I don't think so. But that was just one off.
The only time that the Clippers even had any kind of chance, or it seemed like the Clippers were going to take this game, was the first quarter. The last quarter, the LA Clippers beat the Nuggets 35-27, but some of that is skewed because of the fact that, and believe me, I was thinking to myself while I was watching this is, what's the coach for the Clippers? Why can't Lue?
Tyronn, yeah.
Yeah, Ty Lue put in his his bench, like his deep bench. He put in his deep bench like hella early, like 4, maybe even 5 minutes if my memory serves me correctly.
But
and I think that he kind of tricked Adelman into doing the same thing. And there was like this whole point differential where they were just scoring. And I was just like, oh my God, they got down to 11. And I was like, are they about to come back with the garbage time people? Like, what is going on here? Did they not realize that? And then Adelman was like, nope. And he put Jokic and everybody back in.
That's what you do.
Yeah, like, okay, we're going to shut this right on down. You're going to keep these guys in. We're still going to keep our regulars in.
See, JJ Redick should have seen that game.
Yeah,
and not leave LeBron and them in the whole half. I've never seen nothing like that. But anyway, they go back.
Well, I mean, that's what most teams are doing right now. I mean, if you look at what Minnesota did, their starting 5 played the exact same. They mirrored the minutes of the Lakers. So to me, JJ Redick did exactly what he was supposed to do. He mirrored, unless you really want to try to do. That was a gamble that Lue did. That was a gamble. Like,
yeah,
it was a gamble, and he almost got it. He almost got it full tilt. He went
but
full
Adelman
tilt.
was like, nope.
Yeah, he put a full stop to it.
Yeah, he said no.
But the Nuggets beat them. Their defense was superb all night. Shout out to Russell Westbrook.
No, they wanted it.
He got a couple of good steals and key moments to really put a dagger in the heart of the Clips.
You know he wanted to do that to Harden.
Oh, he got a tech. He got a tech. He wanted it so bad.
Yep.
Like, you could read his lips, and if you can't read lips, like, you could. He said, "I don't give a meep," when they gave him a tech. He did that on purpose. He wanted to slow down. He wanted to, rev up the crowd, keep them into it, keep them engaged, and that was cool. But the defense was superb last night. Shout out to CB.
That's what happened.
Shout out to Aaron Gordon with the key block.
That's what you have when you have professional athletes that are locked in. Defense is effort.
Man,
it's not a skill.
Well, and then the offense was so efficient. I mean, the only 2 quarters, that they didn't score 30 points was the first and the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter, I mean, they were up by 30 at the time when they sat all of the starters, and there was no need to try to score 30 points.
Yeah.
The Clippers scored 35 in that, but 35-19. They held the Clippers to 19 points in the third quarter, my dude. 19 points.
But the thing is, just me being impartial, I was watching it, and when he did that, I was thinking like he put up the white flag, and people don't realize that Clippers have one of the best top 5 benches.
They're deep.
They're deep.
They're very deep.
So he basically was like, oh no, it was like a ploy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
that's exactly my point. Is he did, and I saw it like right off the bat because they were still running the same plays. They were playing like stout defense. He sent them in to basically get the score close so that they could try to win at the end of the game.
That was it. And then
smart. That's smart. Risky, but smart.
It took a rookie coach out.
But to score 35 points in the third quarter against their 19, the Nuggets basically were unconscious in the second and third quarter. I don't know what Adelman said to them or Jokic said to them after the end of the first quarter when it was 26-21. I have no idea what was said in that, that on that bench, but they came out and scored 37 points in the second quarter to 21 points for the Lakers or the Clippers. The Clippers did not score more than 30 points until the fourth quarter. That's mad defense.
What do Adelman have to do to get retained?
He has to at least win 3 games in this next series.
That's it. Okay.
He has to coach a team that is coachless. He has to coach a team that's coachless and get them to at least win. I would say 3 games, but I think he could pass with 2. But if he could get 3 games, you have to keep him as the coach. That means he has the locker room engaged. He's already won a series in a Game 7 series.
Yeah.
In a masterful way, with the exception of getting lured into that rope-a-dope with the, but any coach could have gotten suckered into that.
Oh, I know a few.
Because the Denver Nuggets bench is not that deep. I love all of my dudes on the bench, but there's still the milestones that they need to hit.
Yeah, but they cohesive though. They
played
have time to
Yeah, but they had to pull them out. Coach Adelman had to pull them out and put the regulars back in,
right?
Just because they were celebrating too much. They weren't scoring and allowing the Clippers bench to score at will. When it got down to 11 points, you can't. You have to put in.
Well, that was smart by the rookie coach though. But the thing is, you guys going to get an OKC team that's been off for like a week and a half. So
and there might be some rust. And speaking of OKC, if the Nuggets can play defense the way they did in Game 7, in 4 games in OKC, they can make it to the Western Conference Finals. They will make it to the Western Conference Finals.
And then after that, anybody could, go. It's anybody, chance to the finals.
But I don't want to skip over the round 1 because we're still in round 1 until the game is played today at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I do Mountain Standard Time. Who cares about the East? No, I'm just playing. Wow. But there is Golden State and Houston tonight, right? So you have Golden State and Houston playing tonight in a Game 7 in Houston. Houston was impressive.
If they lose, bro, if Golden State lose, they was up 3-1.
It's happened before.
I know it happened before, but I was like, come on.
But it's time. So I said this off air, but I'm going to say this live. If Golden State loses this series, there is 0 California teams that'll be playing in the playoffs after that loss. And if you think about it, it's a passing of the torch when it comes to the LeBron, KD, Curry era, Kawhi, all of them dudes.
Russ?
Russ is still in until
Oh, you're talking about that's not in.
That's not in anymore.
If he get eliminated.
If the Denver Nuggets get eliminated in this round, again, the era. You know what I'm saying? Like that era kind of. I think to me, this is like Russ's last gasp, and he showed that last night.
This is the buddy era. Remember we called it the buddy era, the AAU era. All these guys,
except for Draymond Green, everybody else is hugs and kisses though.
Draymond Green, he have issues.
Yeah, that brother is a sociopath.
He's unhinged.
Dude is a sociopath on the basketball court. I don't mean like in life. Like don't take that the wrong way.
Braiding dudes' hairs on the court.
Yeah, I mean, but on the court, he's a sociopath, man. And he's a guy I would describe that when he's not on your team, you hate his guts. But when he's on your team, you love that guy. Because Russell Westbrook is like that. Most people, like even I have to admit, when he wasn't playing for I hated Russell Westbrook. I hated the fact that he out-hustled my entire team.
That's all he is. That's one thing Russell Westbrook is going to do for.
Oh, he's going to hustle. He's going to outwork you.
He's probably going to be clanking shots and
he's going to miss 6 free throws. He's going to miss 6 layups, 7 layups.
But he's
going to dribble without the ball. But he's going to give you energy and effort. And last night, he gave the Nuggets exactly that. You could tell he had to make sure that he didn't miss the dunk on the 2 times he got a steal. He was looking over his shoulder, making sure nobody was coming. And he just went easy dribble, and dunk. It was kind of funny, but it brought up the house like everybody. Anyways, I don't want to keep going down that rabbit hole because I could talk about my team all night, and I still want to talk about their coming up game in the round 2. But who you got with the Houston Rockets and the Golden State Warriors? Who do you think?
I'm pulling for Golden State.
Because you a Cali boy? Is that the only reason? Because I had mentioned that if they lose, then there's no more Cali teams, or
no? I think. Unfortunately, they have the bigger names. That's my only problem with this series coming in.
Houston is making names, though.
Right, but you don't want to do it like...
They're going to make a name off of the Warriors.
Exactly.
They're going to do that tonight. I'm telling you right now.
I got Golden State. Well, the thing is, they have to get a name. You can't go in the playoffs like Houston is, and you don't have nobody that's going to attract fouls. Refs. You got unfortunately refs. They call fouls for stars, and Houston do not have somebody that the refs can call fouls for. So they're gonna be foulist. They just gonna So that's the problem I have. Every other team in the playoffs has a player or two that you can like whistle a foul on their behalf. Houston don't have that. Unfortunately, they don't have that player,
and they haven't needed it. To be honest. Scoring 131. The Warriors don't have any defense. If the Rockets can get just enough stops like they did in Game 6, if they can get just enough stops, again, just like you would do to like what I believe that the Nuggets should do to Oklahoma City, is you let Curry eat. Let Curry eat, because he's gonna eat. What you don't want him to do is eat in the fourth quarter when there's less than 20 points left. Like if they're down 20 points.
He's the only player I know.
He'll kill you.
He's the only player I know. You're still worried in the fourth quarter with like 5 to 6 minutes and you're up 15, 16 points. If you're not up more than 20, 25 points, then anything is game with him.
Yep, he could kill you in the fourth quarter. But if you allow him to just eat and stifle and starve everyone else on his team, right? He could score 40, 50 points. But if the rest of his team doesn't score 40, 50 points collectively, Houston's going to whoop that ass again. But I'm just saying they're going to whoop that ass again.
So
youth is beating experience right now. At first, experience was beating youth. Now, I mean... what's their name? What's his name? Udoka? Is that? I hope I said his name right. I hope I'm not massacring that brother's name. Yeah, Udoka used to coach the Boston Celtics. Now the coach of the Houston Rockets, right?
Right.
This guy is a great coach. Like,
oh yeah,
I'd kill to have him. We had Michael Malone, so I wasn't too worried about having him. But man, if I knew then what I know now.
But see, that's the thing you have with coaches like Udoka, because I remember Rivers was that way in Boston. When you have a coach like that, he's the ultimate player's coach. But the thing is, over time, that's the thing. You have to conform yourself. Doc Rivers couldn't do that. Hopefully, Malone couldn't do that. Over the time, these guys.
Well, Malone kind of did that. I mean, he did win a championship,
right?
And he did coach up Jokic and Murray.
So did
rookie.
But I'm just saying, those type of coaches, over the years, their voices become a little, people stop listening.
It becomes stale.
It's stale. And you have to be that type of coach that, that's what I love about Pat Riley. He always, I mean, if his words wasn't working, he'd do like little gimmicks. Like I remember Magic was saying.
Yeah, but Pat Riley's team just got they butts whooped.
But he had no. He wasn't coaching that team.
You don't think so? I mean, he's the one he's the puppet master down in Miami, man. I think Miami, if you want to win another championship, you're going to have to get rid of that dude. And I like Pat Riley, don't get me wrong, but you're going to have to replace him. His mind, Michael Malone is of that era, that Popovich. We're going to get
the highway.
My way or the highway. We're going to get a bunch of guys that
think a star. That type of.
We're going to make you stars, but it's going to be my way or the highway. And if you can't do it that way, that's why Kawhi was traded. Even though he did win one in Toronto, he hasn't won one since. And
you talking about San Antonio?
Yeah, in San Antonio. I'm saying Coach Pop that era of it's my way or the highway.
Popovich that way, Pat Riley.
And shout out to Coach Pop that he's doing well. And apparently, he has already announced that he's going to step into that general manager or president role,
which is good.
Which is good, man. I hope he sticks around for another, couple of decades.
I really thought that, Malone was going to take that. That was me personally. I thought.
I mean, I've read articles and heard reports that he might be taking over that spot. There's so many coaching positions open right now, and Michael Malone is a championship-winning coach.
Mitch Johnson is the new coach of the San Antonio.
Oh, did they already announce it?
Yeah. So,
no, he's an interim coach.
Well, for next year.
That doesn't mean Michael Malone can't interview and get the job.
Well, Mike Malone, go to ESPN for a year. Talk it there. Maybe after that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think Michael Malone's a ESPN commentator type dude.
Nah,
I don't think you went to. I don't think you went to the parade that I went to after the Denver Nuggets won.
Oh, definitely didn't.
Yeah. Michael Malone is a kid from Brooklyn.
You got potty mouth?
Yeah, you don't want Michael Malone on the microphone. I promise you. I mean, the only reason why I wasn't upset and offended as a parent is because my daughters have heard worse from me. I'm just saying, like, I have a potty mouth. Believe it or not, I do not. I cuss like a sailor outside of this little studio that we have here.
You keep it professional.
Man, I'm as professional as they come. I really am.
But cameras off. He cursed, man. I had to tell him to calm down. You're attracting attention to me.
Okay.
Anyways.
Okay. That's a bridge too far. This man is worse than me with the potty mouth. He's the one that damn near always cussing on the show.
I'm a sailor.
Actually, I think sailors are more tame than you are, Larry. Like, I think you would make a sailor blush with the way you talk most times.
Damn, really? That is horrible.
All right, so you got Golden State. I'm going with Houston.
Okay. I mean, fair.
I'm going with Houston.
That's fair.
I took Houston in the.
Yeah, but but we talked about this when Ryan was with us. We talked about this. Houston Achilles heel is gonna be no name recognition.
Yeah.
Only person I feel that's gonna garner any calls is Dylan Brooks.
But here's the thing, like I said, just let Curry eat then. Don't, let him eat. He could score 70 points for all I care. Let him score. I mean, damn near don't even play defense on him.
It would.
But play defense on everybody else.
But the wild card would be Jimmy. I mean, it'll work. But if Jimmy...
Oh, I forgot all about Jimmy Buckets.
Yeah. I mean, because Draymond...
Oh, you can't let either one of them eat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You can let Draymond eat all you want.
Oh, Draymond...
I don't care about let Draymond eat.
Nah, Draymond just going to be kicking people in the groin area.
I know, right? Nah, don't let any of them eat.
And they got nice. They have nice pieces though. Kuminga, you know what I'm saying.
Here's
Kaloni.
the thing: is I think that Dylan Brooks has gotten into the head. He does that. Dylan Brooks is an a-hole. Okay, he's kind of like that Russell Westbrook. He's kind of like that. He's the green on their team.
Right.
You feel me? Like he's that guy.
You need one of those.
You do.
I mean,
you
Lakers,
do. In order to win, you do. You need a dog.
We used to have some, man. I shoot.
When the Denver Nuggets won their championship, that dog was Bruce Brown.
Right.
That was Brucey B. He was that dog.
I remember when we had Ron Artest on ours. He was ours.
Yeah.
Ron Artest.
Right.
Ron.
Right. You need that guy.
Every championship teams need one of those guys.
You need that guy. I think the Bulls would say that Rodman in the second go round, and then in the first one it was Horace Grant. You need those guys.
Yeah, you need every team. Paul Pierce. They had KG was that guy.
Mm-hmm.
You need that. But
all right, so do the Oklahoma City Thunder have that guy?
Yes.
Who?
Lou Dort.
Okay.
Yeah, they have.
I don't think he's that guy.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think he's that guy.
He's dirty enough.
No, I don't think he's that guy. I mean, he is kind of a dirty player, but does he rise to
if not him.
Well, we can't call him a dirty player, man. I mean, he just plays a particular style of physical. Somebody blowing up your phone, man?
No, my stuff is off, bro. My stuff is off, bro.
Is that me? I
guess
keep hearing
so.
this
Yeah.
boom.
I guess that's you. You see me?
Boom.
I turn my phone off.
Right after I said I'm completely professional. Anyway, Oklahoma City, I don't think has that
I mean,
dog.
if not him, only person I can refer to is AC Fresh, Alex Caruso, because he has the pedigree.
I'll give you Caruso. I think Caruso
he has
is that dog.
And he
I
has
think he
championship
is.
experience. So
I think he is that dog.
other than that, I don't see nobody else on their team that's just gonna, kick a guy in his groins.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the Nuggets do have AG. The Nuggets have Russell Westbrook.
if they keep that intensity that they had in Game 7 and carry that over to OKC, it's gonna be a long series for OKC.
I think the Denver Nuggets just need to steal Game 1 to take the series.
But like I told you,
They can't go in there and lose Game 1 and then try to win Game 2.
Y'all best bet is to try to. That's everything. Have to be focused on Game 1.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I don't care how young of a team they are. If you ain't been playing for a week and a half,
You're gonna have some rough. You're gonna have some rust.
Especially in that first. What the Nuggets need to do is just blow them out.
They're basically lucky that they're not playing that first game in Denver.
Oh yeah, then you.
And then they'd be rusty, and then have the altitude on top of it.
Yeah.
Is probably not the best to have, right?
Right, but that's the main focus should be Game 1 upset. After that,
I agree.
just don't lose at home.
I agree. And they have lost at home to this team once this year. The Nuggets split the series
Have
with
they ever
OK.
won in regular? Because I know they split the series, but have the Nuggets won in OKC in a regular series?
Well, that's what I'm saying. They split the series. They didn't just split the series 2-2. They split the series
Home and
where
away?
where the
Okay.
Nuggets beat them once in OKC, and they beat the Nuggets here. And vice versa. So, this series right here is really a 50-50.
Okay.
The series that's going to go on between Houston and Minnesota is going to be the one to really, really like.
Or Golden State, Minnesota. Either or.
No, it's not going to happen. I'm telling you, Houston's going to win this game. Like, they've stolen the momentum. They're going to win this game.
Bro, I had a dream.
Signed, sealed, delivered.
Bro, I had a dream. Yeah, we was watching the 2020.
All right, MLK.
We was watching a rematch of the 2020. Was it 2023 NBA Finals with
Okay.
Boston and Golden State?
Yeah, it's not going to happen, bro.
I know.
That's not going to happen. That's
Could you-
just a dream. And you know what happened after that? You woke up. All right, so but Oklahoma City and the Denver. Hey, Marky Mark, coming in. Get on the mic, man. Let's talk. We're talking Nuggets. What do you think?
Bro, you
Who do you-
late, bro.
That's okay. We can go an extra 30 minutes. I'm sure Vinny won't
know.
mind.
Dang, man.
You're the only
Good
one that got to
see
go
you,
to
though.
work.
Good.
Well, hi. How's everyone doing?
What's up, dog?
Yeah. How about them Nuggets, man?
Nuggets.
Woo! Man.
Really?
If I could
know,
see walk on the
I'm
camera, I
about
would.
They like little choir
Oh
girls.
man. Yeah. It's
And you said that you cry like a what?
Oh boy. Yeah, man. Minnesota's big man got you guys, man. That's a bummer, dude.
Yeah, bro. They don't have a center.
You know he was a.
They don't have a true four.
Did you know that? No, for real. Did you know that the Eiffel Tower was an undercover all-time great?
The awful tower.
I was like Gobert. I didn't know Gobert.
How you let a dude with no offensive skills except for dunking the ball score 27 points? Anyway, we're talking Nuggets. We're done with the
Yeah,
the
as soon as
Lakers.
you
The
walked
Lakers
in-
are done. The fake show is done. They are on the beach.
Hey, I can't.
Can't call them the Lake Show. Can't call them the Lake Show.
It's all right.
They're the fake
though.
show now
It's all right.
until they redeem
They're
themselves.
the sea show
Ever
in
since
Cancun.
Ever since, and see that's why I'm so mad at LeBron James.
They're selling
That's what I'm so
seashells by
mad-
the seashore.
Ever since LeBron came to the Lakers, I've been having to shut my mouth.
Yeah.
People are like, you suck. I cannot.
Anything to
protect
get back on the Lakers, this guy.
I cannot.
Yeah.
I can't do it, bro. I can't do it no more.
Neither can your team. So We are talking about the Denver Nuggets and OKC going forward. The Denver Nuggets play tomorrow night.
Cool.
We thought it would be Tuesday, but hey, the Denver Nuggets should have put the game away on Thursday, and then they would have rest, right?
Right.
So what do you think? What are you thinking?
I just we only saw a couple of the games where we were like really putting our pedal to the metal, you know what I mean, on that, you know what I mean? And then game 6 not good, game 3 or wait, was it game 2? No. Yeah, game 2 that we lost. Yeah, like it's just seeing all that stuff, but like you, me, and Lucas were talking about earlier this week. I think that we match up with OKC a little bit better than we do with.
That's why we split the series with them.
Timberwolves, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, we split the series with them, but wasn't like SGA gone one of those games or something like that?
Well, I mean, in a few of the games, stars were missing. I think even Jokic didn't play in one of the games. Yeah. But here's the thing. Jokic hasn't been the same. His shooting hasn't been the same since that Hartenstein foul.
Yeah, something
where he
happened,
pulled him
right?
to the ground and he landed on his elbow. I think that Jokic is going to want some revenge in this game. Okay. Watch out for Hartenstein because that was some shady. Like if you go back and watch, I record every game. If you would like me to cut the clip for you, I can cut it.
Do it.
But he literally pulled the man to the ground on some shadiness because the Nuggets were on a roll at that point. Jokic was leading that charge, and basically he pulled him to the ground, his elbow, and the rest is history. We're at where we're at, right? The Nuggets are in 4th place, basically to me because of that loss, because they started to spiral out of control after that, right? So I honestly do think we were just discussing. I don't know if you were listening on the way.
I was not.
Okay, so we were just discussing that if the Nuggets can go in and steal game 1, that'll be the key to stealing the series in itself. So Larry just said, he was like, if you take game 1 and then don't lose any games at home, you win this series, right?
Look at me thinking for you guys. You guys need to pay me to be y'all think tank.
Hey, man, even the sun shines on a dog's ass some days. Do not break your arm patting yourself on the back, okay?
Give me consultant money. That's what I want. I want consultant money.
He wants to go to Cancun with the Lakers.
Get out of here. Yeah. I mean, they sitting on the couch watching it just like he will.
I got a question for Mark, too.
Okay.
Me and Arthur was talking about the too big lineup. Remember we talking about that? That's a thing of the past. Do you feel that's a thing of the past now in the NBA? Because a lot of teams is not putting too bigs. Like how
I don't see it much anymore.
That's what I was saying.
I see a lot of smaller teams.
Because we was talking about when Anthony Davis got traded, he wanted a big so he wouldn't have to play center. And that's like the Laker organization didn't want to do that because the NBA is getting away from that.
Right.
So it'd be kind of like stupid for them to get a big to complement Anthony Davis.
It's like when the NFL is doing the 2 tight end thing.
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I mean?
Well, I mean, every league, if you think about it, and this has been said, every league is a copycat league. The NFL is a copycat league.
All leagues,
the NBA is a copycat league.
MLB.
The MLB is a copycat league. They all do the same thing. If it's working, I mean, we in the MLB, the Moneyball, right? When that first started,
right.
Not only did the rest of the league and the MLB start doing that, other leagues started doing it.
Yeah.
The NBA does it. The NFL does it. They try to
statistics became very important in the NBA.
Yep.
Yeah. Right after.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Because if the numbers don't bear out specific things, you move on.
You got to understand one thing. Owners love that. They love numbers. So you can introduce numbers into
they love numbers that give them profitability.
They love numbers. They love numbers, period.
Yep.
That leads to profitability, though.
I mean,
anything that helps them understand their product better.
Yes.
You know what
exactly.
I mean?
Exactly, Mark.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. So since Mark's here, we're going to go around the horn really quick because we only got 10 minutes, and I do want to talk about this Shedeur Sanders thing. But okay, so in the second round right now, we can't choose obviously Houston and Golden State. Oh no, actually, Mark, Houston or Golden State?
Oh, because it's tied now, huh?
Yeah, they play tonight at 6:30. The kids, man, the kids.
On sure, Mark.
Where's the dump button when you need one?
On sure experience, who would you pick?
Oh my goodness. You can't sway. What are you doing? I asked a direct question and you trying to sway, dude. Calm down.
Dude, I just see a downturn in Golden State, and also when you look at the two teams that are struggling the most, they don't have the bigs. You know what I mean? And that's Golden State and the Lakers. You know what I mean? Like and that's just my feeling. I mean, they have way more playoff experience. Exponentially more playoff experience. Yes, I get that. But at
Houston's
the same time,
on a roll, bro.
But Houston,
They won 2 straight.
Houston's got the juice, dude. They got the juice right now.
So you drinking on the rocket fuel, right?
I'm drinking some rocket fuel right now. I'm in.
Hey, however you want to say it, bro. I'm sipping on that rocket fuel.
I'm personally going for the Warriors. Because
Okay.
I like Steph Curry, and I want to see him do one more run. Like
I'm telling you, it's a.
Do you want to see that? Wait. Is that because you want to see him do greater than LeBron? Because I know you. He wants to see another run.
That's
just
funny.
because. Am I wrong?
No,
Am I off base?
No, I'm not all that messed up. Come on, man.
Before you came in here, I had a dream.
Here we go.
What's that?
Here we go. Again, I can't control what comes out of this man's mouth.
Before he came in, I was telling Arthur that I had a dream that
I had a dream.
we had gonna have a rematch of Boston and Golden State in the finals.
That one day.
And then I woke up,
And then you woke up. Yeah.
and then I was still mad.
That's funny. Yeah.
You know what I was happy about last night? So, okay, since we're off the rails here and we're just not
off
going to
the
follow and we have like
It's
8
fine.
minutes. So last night I'm watching the game with my daughter, right?
Yeah.
And so you can hear, I'm watching in 4K. We get this, what I used to watch on crack streams and all of this thing, that get this whole experience within the arena. So it doesn't cut to commercials. It just shows the in-between,
That's the NBA live feed.
It's awesome. I love watching it. My daughter loves it. So we're watching it, and you can hear these Clipper fans in our stadium.
Oh.
Yeah,
Like chanting.
But did you hear
I
about
heard
this?
Hear about?
Did you hear what happened? Steve Ballmer.
He brought fans with
he
him.
flew a whole plane of people to make a wall.
Yeah, behind their bench.
Behind their
Behind their bench.
Exactly.
And so that was my greatest gratification out of winning that game.
that wall crumbled.
Was to watch them walk out of the arena
Yes.
and take that L, as our former coach would say. They could come in here and cheer all they want, but they're going to take that L on the way out. And I was so happy that they took that L on the way out. Don't come into another stadium and build a wall. What are you doing, man?
See, the thing is, people don't realize the hate I have, and you must understand when we shared. Look, when we shared the same arena. Listen, when we shared the same arena, those guys they covered up our banners and our jerseys. You don't do that. That's very disrespectful.
Well, I'd have done that too, but
See how you are.
I mean, you share. You share an arena. You don't want somebody else's jerseys hanging. I mean, that to a certain extent, I get. The Denver Nuggets don't share an arena with the Clippers.
Give them their own corners or something, man. Come on, you're sharing an arena. What are you doing here?
I'd have covered them too. I'm
Nah,
just saying.
dog,
I'm just saying. That's how
Don't
deep
be
my
like
hatred
that.
for the Lakers is.
All right, little Doc Rivers. That's what I'm gonna call you now, Lil Doc.
Little Doc.
Lil Doc. That's gonna be your name now,
That's nice, dude.
Lil Doc.
That's so good.
That's a compliment. It's a backhanded compliment, but I'll take it. So, anyways, speaking of taking,
Damn.
we've got about six minutes here, and I want to talk about how the NFL took $40 million from Shedeur Sanders, or something to that effect. Except for it looks like my computer just froze on your boy. Good thing we only got 6 minutes left. But hey, Shedeur Sanders got robbed. I do believe that he not only got robbed, there was collusion within ownership of the NFL. I mean, they've all but come out and just said it, and it's not okay. This guy, yes, is he arrogant? Sure.
So
Sure. Sure.
Who's
What?
not?
What? Thank you. What person? John Elway is the most arrogant person I have ever personally met.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I've met Donald Trump, but
Yeah.
John Elway, very close second.
Very up there.
I mean,
Okay.
nut hair, like not too far apart. Assholes, and I'll say that. I'll say that on the air. The fact is that is he arrogant? Yes. Does he come from a family of arrogance?
Yes.
Sure. But why? And I'm going to ask this, America. I'm going to ask this, Sports Fiends. Why was it okay for John Elway to state that he didn't want to go to the Colts and finagled them? Him and his dad basically worked out a deal to where he could come to Denver. That's where he wanted to play. He didn't want to play on the East Coast. He wanted to play on the West Coast.
I mean,
he couldn't go to San Francisco. He couldn't go to, the Chargers. He couldn't go where he wanted to go. The closest place was Denver. He finagled that. Next one.
Manning.
Eli Manning and his dad. He didn't want to go to San Diego. They didn't want him playing in San Diego.
And I got one.
So where did he go?
New York.
New York.
And I got even another one. Remember the Phillip Rivers, his family?
Right.
Oh yeah.
Remember
Yep.
they did not want to go to Indiana.
Right.
And they went to San Diego with the Chargers.
But it's not okay for Shador and Prime. Why?
Here, well, okay, so I think that there is a little bit of a conspiracy behind this, and I'll explain
Please
my
do.
take on it, okay? So I think that Deion Sanders was a hard sell to come back to Colorado, right?
Okay.
So they offered him the money, and they said, we'll even retire your kid's jersey along with Travis blah, 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 and then that'll raise his draft stuff, you know what I mean? And then I think that there's even a further conspiracy to be like, okay, yeah, we'll give him that, but we're not going to draft him in the first round. You know what I mean? And like stuff like that. But see, and I'm on both sides of it.
But
because
isn't
I
that
don't-
collusion?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, you're right.
Which goes against their collective bargaining agreement.
That's why I agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. But yeah, I think to me, behind the scenes, I feel like that's what happened.
Well, I feel like the NFL does this because they know, just like they had with, what is his name? Now I just lost his name. Kaepernick. They know that all they're going to do is if Shador does sue, and that's my question. That's really my question: should Shador sue the league? Like, should they? Should he? Because they're going to settle. They're going to settle just like they did with Kaepernick because they know they were wrong. They know they were wrong. And then for the Cleveland Browns to trade up to get him in the 5th round is just ridiculous. On a team they already had 4 quarterbacks, now he's the 5th quarterback. And I told Larry off air, I have a gut feeling that basically this is a way for the NFL to get rid of him without punitive damage. Why? Because, we drafted him, right? So he can't say he went undrafted, right? They drafted him in the 5th round, so he's going to get paid. He's going to get some sort of guaranteed money, or not guaranteed money, but he's going to get some sort of money, right? They're not going to, and then the Cleveland Browns could cut him. They can cut him because they can afford his salary on a 5th round draft pick. And then all they have to say is, hey, we gave him a shot. We had 4 other quarterbacks that we want to go with, or 3 other quarterbacks. And now they can cut him. And now he's going to get even less money as a rookie free agent going into that pool where everybody else already has their quarterbacks and all rosters are full. So they are icing him out without icing him out. In my humble opinion, this is just my opinion based upon what I've seen and what I saw them do to Kaepernick. Even though the circumstances were completely different, like Kaepernick was doing his, kneeling, and that was a different reason to freeze him out. But that doesn't mean that they didn't freeze him out, period.
Yeah.
And they're doing that to Shador, and I think there should be more than just punitive monetary damage to the Shador family, or not the Shador family, excuse me, to Shador. But, there should be some sort of, I don't even know what it could be. I'm trying to rack my brain how they could be punished. But there should be a punishment.
I think Lloyd Howell, oversees the players, the unions, the union, because it's like you were saying, it's a break in the union. You know what I'm saying? It was agreement, a collective bargaining agreement.
Exactly.
And that they should renegotiate.
And when he signed on that,
I think the player union need to renegotiate their contract with the NFL under those kind of stipulations. You know what I'm saying? And do something, because this is totally ridiculous.
Yeah, it really is. It's just not okay.
It's not fair.
It's not okay.
The only thing I didn't like about Shedeur Sanders is getting his number taken or retired at CU, dude.
And I agree with you. I thought that was a bridge too far.
Because I think that disrespects Cordell Stewart. I think that disrespects Rashawn Salam, and who is starts with Bieniemy.
Yeah,
Eric,
because none of them are retired yet.
None of them are retired,
and they are CU greats.
And they were greats.
Yeah,
they won national championship, didn't they? Or they went to the national championship?
No, they won.
They won. Yeah, right.
They won.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's no national championship.
He didn't win any.
There's
bowls.
no records breaking.
I understand why they retired hunters.
Exactly.
You okay there, boss? Okay. I understand why they did Travis
Colorado
Hunter. He's a Heisman Trophy winner, right? He's a Heisman Trophy winner. So he played both sides of the ball. Almost 100% of snaps for the entire time that he was here, with the exception of when he got hurt the first year, right? I get why his jersey was retired.
Right.
But I even think his was still a bit premature.
Me too. I
but
agree.
I would still understand
do it
why his
after
is
a couple of years.
Exactly.
After a nice NFL career.
But for Shedeur, who hasn't broken any records, really didn't take them. I mean, didn't win.
No records, no national championship.
Didn't win a bowl.
Which scene is it?
Didn't win a bowl game at all. He hasn't done pretty much anything besides be an accurate quarterback in his collegiate career, right?
Right.
So
But
with that said,
I understand what
he still was the highest prospect going into.
I agree with you. But the thing is, do you think NBA did that because of
The NFL?
Do you think the NFL did that to him because of what happened in Colorado? You think was the breaking point?
It shouldn't matter.
I know it shouldn't matter.
It should not matter. What all that should matter is what he has done.
Can you play?
Can he play? Can he play the quarterback position? And all the way up until the draft, everybody.
He didn't go to the combines either.
That's because he knew that if there was anything that even if it was minuscule, they would have used it as an excuse, and they used him not going to the combine as an excuse. So it didn't. He was in a lose-lose.
If you're right,
he was lose-lose. And because he's prime son, I don't know. It could be racial undertones. I don't know. I don't know. But the bottom line is, it was cool for these quote unquote Caucasian quarterbacks and their fathers to step in and guide their. They know because they knew who the better franchises were and where their sons could.
Manning. Yep.
right.
There's a list. There's a laundry list of players, of quarterbacks that have done this. And because this kid is, I don't know. I really don't want to use the race card. I'm really trying my best not to.
I think a lot of people were mad about his draft room that had was it legendary in it, and like the custom draft
that's
room
his
with all the
brand.
hats
Like his
and all
dad
the
was
stuff.
prime.
Yeah, I know, I get it. I know, and I get that, but
and the NFL knows that branding, building your own brand is a key thing, and these kids these days are doing that. They're building their own brand, and they wanted to teach him and his father a lesson, and that's BS. That's BS. If you're going to teach that lesson, teach it fair and evenly over every single time that you do it. Otherwise, it looks fishy. It looks really, really fishy that the one black quarterback that does it gets scrutinized and drops to the 5th round, but all of these other Caucasian, it just looks weird. It looks weird. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to stir the pot or make it seem like it's racially undertoned, but it's weird.
I think it's good for you to bring it up because I think people forget that John Elway fought his way into the Broncos.
He was drafted by another team
and said, "I'm going to go play baseball. Screw you guys."
Yep.
You're like, yeah.
If you draft me specifically, and I'm almost quoting, I'm paraphrasing, but if you draft me, you're wasting your draft pick because I will play baseball. He was drafted, I believe, by the Yankees as well. If my memory serves me correct, he was drafted by the Yankees to be a pitcher.
He was set to be, or
they drafted him.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they drafted him. And he kind of forced his way. He told them, well, I've already been drafted. I'll play baseball if you draft me. So basically, the Colts went in another direction so that the Denver Broncos could pick him. And that was BS.
You know, and then you have, you know, I know it's a little different, but you have the situation with Kurt Warner. You know, they found him in a market. You know, he was a bag, and they said at the grocery, but he was the most. I met him.
Yeah.
Very cocky, very arrogant. I said, man, you don't seem like a bagger at a grocery store. You know what I'm saying? You're a cocky quarterback.
Wow.
And he had a great arm,
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
play with the Rams, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's just the fact that, you know, certain people.
Name me one quarterback in the history of quarterbacks that is not arrogant.
Kyle
One.
Orton.
One.
Kyle Orton.
Arrogant.
I'm just kidding.
Are you kidding me?
Hey, he was being funny.
No, I get it now, but it was
he
just
was
like,
big.
I almost was like, Mark, are you serious?
Mark.
There was nobody more arrogant than that dude.
My boy Trev Dog, dude. Trevor Simeon.
Now you're just poking the bear,
That's a
bro.
boy.
You're just
That's
trying to
my
rev
boy.
me up.
But the thing
You're
is,
just trying to rile me up.
no, but the thing is, in that position.
I'm still waiting. Name me one quarterback.
No, you're right. So anyway, you have to be arrogant at that position, Arthur. You know what I'm saying? And the problem is you shouldn't differentiate a certain guy that, you know.
Even the most terrible quarterbacks that have ever played are arrogant.
Todd Marinovich.
Arrogant.
Todd, yeah.
What was the Buffalo Bills, the little guy?
Oh, Doug Flutie.
Oh, Flutie. Arrogant. This dude's shorter than me. Arrogant. Like, are you serious? Hey, but he could play.
Hey, you know what he's doing now,
He
right?
can play.
You know what he's doing now, right?
Eating Fruity Flake or
no,
Flutie Flakes?
he's playing. He's doing extras in the Hobbit movies. For real.
Don't do that.
Lord of the Rings.
Don't do that. Don't do that. That's not okay. I thought my joke was tasteless and yeah, but that was just cold. Don't do that. You cold. You just wrong. Anyway, I'm not trying to turn this show into a political statement or anything like that. You can get your pitchforks and your lanterns out if you would like, but.
No,
I follow facts. I follow figures, and the fact of the matter is you're not going to tell me that my eyes don't see what my eyes see. How many Caucasian quarterbacks have been drafted and did the same thing or had the same arrogance that Shador did or does and got their way? And the NFL did nothing. They were still number one like either number one overall or number one draft picks. There were quarterbacks that were picked before Shador that have half the numbers and stats that he has collegiately over his career. Period. Like even the ones where he was at Jackson State, right? Those numbers don't just go away. You don't get to just wipe those numbers away and only count CU. But that's why I would say you don't retire his jersey at CU. A lot of his collegiate numbers were happening at another college. If they want to retire his number in Jackson State, then by all means, retire him there because he did do things there. He raised their status there. To a certain extent, he did help raise the status of CU.
It was more celebrity here. It was more celebrity status here than
it was exactly
on the field
Sound
merit.
like LeBron
Exactly.
James to me.
Ooh,
Sound like LeBron James to me.
salty shots.
Ain't
Salty shots at the throne, my dude.
Ain't worried about winning, just worried about his branding. Sounds a little familiar to me.
You're not wrong.
Exactly.
He ain't lying.
I know.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry. I'm just very passionate about that. I don't like the fact that the league in itself is able to do that again. By any means, like that goes against the whole collective bargaining. Why would you in good faith, if you're the players, go into another collective bargaining agreement with these owners who know and willfully use loopholes to do this type of thing to a player? And I don't care what nationality, creed, race, color they are. The fact of the matter is that if they could do this to Shador, they can do this to any player. And how many times have they done this?
And how many times has it gone under the radar? You know what I mean? Where it's someone that we don't even
Right.
know, and they're just getting shut out like that. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And I liken it. I don't know. And I've asked him last week, but have you ever seen the movie with Kevin Costner, Draft Day?
I feel like I have.
So, just long story short, because I don't want to get into it too deep, but
No.
basically, one of the GMs in that movie, the Kevin Costner's character, causes a quarterback to drop just because of a character flaw he perceives, he thinks he sees in this quarterback, for a number of reasons. But he actually voices that he thinks he's a bust. Because of character issues. And then all of a sudden this quarterback is dropping. Nobody's picking him, right?
Yeah.
And ultimately he uses that to leverage another team that kind of swindled him out of his first round picks to get those first round picks back. But anyway, it speaks to how teams can collude or they work together. Because it was weird to me, and I know it's a movie. Don't get me wrong. I know it's a movie. I'm not stupid. But there has to be some truth. They have to interview people that work within the confines of the NFL and within the industry to get some of these nuggets of truth that they shred in there and thread in there, I should say. You would hope so. But the question that kept getting asked every time Kevin Costner's character was talking to another GM, they were like, well, who are you picking with this pick? What are your plans with this dude? What do you see? What do you, what's wrong with this quarterback that you passed on him on the number one overall when everybody else sees him as the number one overall? And he's just like, well, I see him as a bust. And all of a sudden this dude's draft stock is tanking. And that sucks. You should not be able to do that in any way, shape, or form. Like, you should have some legitimacy behind that, and it should be in writing so that if, there's a defamation of character, the person that you're speaking about is allowed to, that's why we have court systems. That's why you have a collective bargaining agreement. You should not be able to do these type of things within a league. And I don't care if it's the NFL, the NBA, MLB. They should not, these rich men should not be able to cold shoulder this kid and get him out of the league just because they don't like his attitude or they don't like his father or they don't want to deal with the spotlight that comes therein. That to me is BS. You're costing your league money. This kid made so much money for CU. It's ridiculous.
His jersey right now in the NFL in this class is the highest seller right now, grossing.
So much money for CU.
So he already making money for
ridiculous. Ridiculous.
And if there wasn't collusion or they weren't trying to shut him down,
it's just a bad
look. Another thing that maybe isn't so attractive about drafting a Shedeur Sanders is the circus that comes with it. You know what I mean? Like, because his father talks about wanting to coach him all the way through his career. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, like, now you have the possibility of Dion coming into somewhere. You're like, what?
Yeah, no, I just said whatchamacallit said that too. The Manning fight, Archie, he said that.
Yeah.
It wasn't not even people just gloss over that. I was going to strong arm my way into the Colts organization and move up like that. But no, it's just like.
Well, I mean, the one besides the skin color, obviously, the other thing that's glaring to me that sticks out about what was the difference between Shedeur Sanders, John Elway, etc., is the fact that those quarterbacks were taken during an era where there wasn't social media, and it wasn't, so much how do I say this? It wasn't so politicized in what he's doing, and there wasn't such a spotlight on what he's doing or how he's doing it, what he says, the whole risk thing.
And John Elway didn't have his own Horsetooth brand or something like that.
Right. They weren't they were branding themselves to a certain extent even then, but they weren't building brands like the kids like today are building brands. They didn't have NIL deals during that time either.
Right.
So the kids coming in, I think that's what's really getting to the owners is these kids are already coming in rich, right? They're already coming in with money. And I think that was the that was the biggest thing. Hold on. Let me get this thought out. That was the biggest thing that the NFL had in leverage when it came to players coming out of college is they were starving college kids, and they could offer them whatever type of money.
You nailed it.
And they're going to take it. Like, oh, we're going to give him the bare minimum that we can give him, even as a first-round overall draft pick. We're going to give him the bare bucket minimum.
You just nailed it.
That we can give him, and then we'll build on and see where he can go. Well, the NIL has taken that away.
Yeah.
These kids already know how much they're worth. They already know their brand is already bigger. You know, they're not bigger than the NFL. The Shield is pretty big. And you'd have to build a real, I mean, Prime is a pretty big brand, but it's not NFL. It's not NFL money. NFL has money that they haven't even seen yet. They're like a casino. They're printing money, people. But the fact of the matter is I think that that's what is bothering the owners, is they can't leverage these kids. They knew that if Shador was picked in the first round, top 10, they were going to have to pay him. And they didn't want to pay him. They want to pay him 5th round. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to pay him as good as he is. They want to pay him as good as they feel he is.
But you know what?
And that's not okay.
It's still not going to affect him because he came from money. It's not going to affect him.
No, well, that's my point.
It's
and
not.
even before he got the NIL money,
It didn't.
he had money. His dad had
Exactly.
money. He comes from money.
Exactly.
So he was going to be all right, and he's still going to be all right. But that doesn't mean that the NFL should be able to take a prospective $40 million worth of money from him. Wow. That just doesn't mean that. He should have been at least top 15. At least top 15. That's what his numbers say. If you compare his numbers
That's
to
worst case scenario.
quarterbacks from even last year that got drafted, he should have been in the top 15. Bottom line. And they colluded to basically humble this kid when they should have done that to the other arrogant quarterbacks. But, you know, I kind of believe they did it to homeboy Mahomes. You know, Mahomes, he's a pretty arrogant guy.
Yeah.
And he got humbled a little bit when he got drafted later in the first round than in the upper first round, because he should have been in that top 20, and he wasn't.
Yeah, but he didn't come with the fanfare like.
No, he didn't. He didn't, and nobody. I'm not trying to say that everybody knew that Mahomes was going to be who Mahomes is right now, because that would be false.
Yeah.
That's
I didn't even know who the hell he was.
That's hindsight, right?
I was just saying.
I
was saying his name wrong all the time. I was like, my homie. Who's my homie? Who's my homies? I know my homies, but who's my homies?
But historically, if we go back, you can't. I'm not, like I said, I hate using the race card, but you can't discount it either.
I know.
The fact that these other quarterbacks were able to do the same thing, just without social media and without the big notoriety, because most of them, except for Manning, and I'm thinking that. I can't remember if, for the life of me, if Peyton Manning actually chose to go to Indianapolis, or if, he got, just picked by Indianapolis. I can't remember.
It was no big. The thing is, he went where his father played, so it was no big. When he got drafted, it was perfect. It was the perfect.
His father played in New Orleans, though.
Didn't he play?
Yeah, New Orleans.
No. It was in New
I'm
Orleans.
thinking. No, I'm sorry. I take that back. I'm thinking. Whatchamacallit. The other guy plays for. Anyway, yeah.
Actually, if I remember correctly, I believe Archie is quoted in saying he didn't want any of his kids playing for New Orleans. I think. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that is the case.
That's crazy.
But either way, it seems like certain fathers, certain sons get to do whatever they want and get to say whatever they want, and just because they didn't have the notoriety or the backing of social media during their time and era doesn't mean that it wasn't the same thing, and it doesn't mean that they shouldn't have been treated the same way that Shador was treated. So it really only I can't think of any other reason why they would humble this particular kid because of his flashiness and all of these things. John Elway was a surfer kid from California. He had a whole bunch he went to Stanford. He was, Biff.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he had all of the notoriety. If he had social media Like the way Shador has social media, nobody would like John Elway. I promise you. I've met the man in person. We went when I was a kid. I was with Big Brothers and Big Sisters, and we went to a game and we got to eat breakfast with John Elway. And one of the kids, I was 8 years old. This kid was younger than me, maybe 6 years old. Tried to get an autograph from him, and he basically told the kid to get out of his face, like a kid.
Yeah, I've heard stories about like that too, like little kids, and then like he actually like pushed him out.
He shoved him,
and like blood. Like, yeah, all kinds of stuff. Yeah. It's
well, he
crazy.
didn't make this kid bleed, but he did shove him out of the way and was like, "Get out of my way, kid. I don't sign autographs," or something to that effect.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, you're talking about a little kid, and that has been lasting in my mind forever.
I'll tell
I
you
still
one
love
thing.
John Elway as the quarterback.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Same.
He's still the best quarterback the Broncos have ever seen.
But I'm not having him drive my golf cart.
No. No. What you mean, boo? Man, you better get out of here with that.
Boo. He used to kill the Raiders, bro.
Yeah.
I know.
He used to kill the Raiders.
And we used to love it.
He used to kill, especially in Mile High.
We used to love
Not so high. Mile
it.
High.
We used to love seeing that black
Well, yeah.
paint drip with tears down their
But
face.
yeah, man. Silence.
Yeah, for those of you who are watching for the first time, Larry's a Raiders and a Lakers fan. He's pretty much
No, man. I'm a Dodgers.
yeah.
Anaheim Mighty Ducks. Well, they just like to be called Ducks.
Did you say? How did you say Anaheim?
I don't know. How did I say it?
Anyways.
And exactly. Thank you, Mark.
Anaheim. I want to hear you say Anaheim again,
I
fool.
can't. I messed it up probably.
Anaheim.
Anaheim. Anaheim.
I do speak a little German.
Nice, dude. I know some
He
German,
does.
dude.
He speaks a few languages, but I don't know what language he was speaking when he said Anaheim.
Larry
I
the
thought
world
that's-
traveler.
I know.
He is.
He's like bragging. He was going to go into a full Führer. Anaheim.
That's Jewish. L'chaim. That's Jewish,
I
bro.
think it's like a
It's like a blessing.
it's like a cheers or a blessing or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
That was a
So racist.
Anyways, you got anything else you want to cover here on this episode?
Want to cover why Larry's racist?
Just imagine if they could like zoom into my face right now. Like,
I can feel the heat.
I know.
Just
I feel
coming
it.
out.
That's-
That's
I
great.
feel the heat. I'm just kidding. I'm just
Okay.
kidding. Don't sue us. We don't have any money.
yeah,
You can't squeeze blood from a turnip. All right.
I can't.
Yeah, I
I
gotta
think-
get
I
ready
think
for
that
this
is-
party out here.
Yeah. I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you for tuning in. Like and subscribe. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, Sportz Phenz or at Sportz Phenz. Make sure you follow at SoHi Cafe on IG. Make sure you reach out to Vinny. Get your pre-orders in. I do have his cell. Dag nabbit. Do you know it off the top of your head there, Mark?
No, I don't.
That's
I mean, I don't know which cell
awesome.
phone. I don't know if it's his personal one that I have or.
Nope, I got you.
Okay.
It's 303-807-0151. SoHi Cafe, Viper Pit Barbecue, 4300 West Alameda. Stop on by. Tell them the Sportz Phenz sent you. We will see you next week. Same bat channel, same bat time. Deuces.